Marilyn Monroe, born Norma Jean Mortensen, later baptized Norma Jean Baker, was a famous American actress, model, and singer. She was born on June 1, 1926, in Los Angeles, California, and had a difficult childhood. Monroe's mother, Gladys Baker, had mental health issues and was in and out of institutions throughout her life. Monroe never knew who her father was and imagined him to look like actor Clark Gable. She was placed in foster care with various families, some of whom were neglectful or abusive, and was sexually assaulted by a lodger in one of the homes, which caused her to develop a stutter. When she was 16, she married her neighbor, James Doherty, but they divorced in 1946. Monroe worked as a model before signing her first movie contract with Fox in 1946. Her acting career was initially unstable, but she eventually became a successful actress, and her iconic roles in movies like Gentlemen Prefer Blondes and Some Like It Hot made her a Hollywood legend. In 1953, she agreed to pose naked for photographer Tom Kelly in exchange for $50. Hugh Hefner bought the rights to one of the photos and made it the first centerfold in his new magazine, Playboy. In 1952, retired baseball superstar Joe DiMaggio asked a friend to set him up with Marilyn Monroe. Being the most famous athlete in the country, DiMaggio got his dinner. After engaging in a long-distance romance, on January 14, 1954, Monroe and DiMaggio married at San Francisco City Hall. DiMaggio, however, wanted a housewife and disliked his wife's sex symbol status. These contrasting desires and DiMaggio's possessiveness created tension. Elia Kazan, with whom Monroe later had an affair, wrote that she told him DiMaggio struck her often, and beat her up several times. In September 1954, after DiMaggio watched Monroe shoot the famous subway grate scene for the 7-Year Itch, the couple had a fight that turned violent. Monroe filed for divorce. DiMaggio tried to help with her addictions and mental health issues and later blamed himself for her death. After arranging Monroe's funeral, he had roses delivered to her crypt 3 times a week for the next 20 years. In her personal life, Monroe struggled with addiction, depression, and anxiety. She was known to abuse prescription drugs and alcohol, which affected her work and personal relationships. She also had several affairs with high-profile men. Monroe's last completed film was The Misfits, released in 1961. She was struggling with depression and addiction during the production, and her marriage to playwright Arthur Miller was also falling apart. She suffered from several breakdowns on set and had difficulty remembering her lines. The film's director, John Huston, later said that Monroe was very disturbed during the shoot. On August 5, 1962, Monroe was found dead in her home in Los Angeles. She was 36 years old. The cause of her death was listed as acute barbiturate poisoning, and it was ruled a probable suicide. However, there have been many conspiracy theories and speculations about the circumstances of her death, including murder. Monroe's legacy as an icon of Hollywood glamour and sex appeal has endured long after her death. She remains a symbol of beauty, femininity, and tragedy, and her films and image continue to captivate audiences around the world.